we are going to work in our Lapbook again today. Today's journaling page is going to be about who I am as far as I am a daughter of course, my parents. Anyhow, we are going to do it. We're going to open up our journal, and we had worked on the waterfall for faith in our last video. And we're going to open that up to the left to the first flip up that we have, which is this page here. And we're going to do the cover here. And I'm going to put a picture of my parents on there. And I'm going to add a little collage behind them. A little history of my parents is that they were together from the time they were, 16 probably. And they stayed together, raised 5 kids until they were both in their 80s. To me, that speaks a lot in the world today to have a couple that does stay married that long. So we had a very solid family life. And their love for their kids was just always there in the forefront of every decision and everything they did. Everything was for their family. So that's pretty awesome. Pretty high standards to live up to, I guess. Anyhow, my positive thought for today, of course, is my parents and the life that they led. I want to dedicate this page to them. And we're going to start by making a little collage behind them. And I'm going to be using papers that I've used throughout the Lapbook and the journal so far. I will be inking the edges of all these papers up, and I'm sorry, I should have had that done beforehand. So I will take a moment now to ink up all of these papers, and I will be back. Okay, so it's pretty cool to have a project where you go to it and pretty much it's all done except for just the embellishing, and that's pretty much what a picture and the collage work is just embellishing this beautiful page that we had made in our Lapbook. It has the one with the tag in it, which is probably, it is where I will be doing some journaling about my mom and dad, and of course that's going to be private. So I'm going to use a glue stick to adhere paper to paper. Doesn't really need much else other than some glue stick, I don't believe. This is the biggest piece, and I'll put that down first. Now I do want to try to remember, and yell at me, guys, if I keep forgetting or if I go to forget. Just yell as loud as you can. Anyhow, I want to keep it inside the stitched lines here. I do want to see my stitching. But I do want to make a little tuck spot so I can put a tag on here that can put I am a daughter on here, and claiming the fact of that's one of the who I ams. So we'll get busy here, and I haven't really decided where our next outing, as my dad would say a true outing is when you would happen to see the geese or ducks, as in his case, he would see ducks, and would get something to eat. And that would complete and make a true outing. So our outing, we may see ducks and geese. Probably we'll see geese. Not so sure that we're going to get something to eat. And that's what an outing for my dad consists of. And we will have our next outing. I'm not sure where. I'm contemplating a couple of different places to go to, and I'll show you another blessing that I have in the area that I currently live in. So these papers you can see in all the other videos. I think maybe in some of the first videos I put where these papers are from. I didn't feel the need to have to do it every single time, but papers that I have chosen for this journal, this Lapbook journal project, have been from Weathered Textures, and they're on Etsy. And let's see, who else did I? This is Weathered Textures here. All of these so far are Weathered Textures. This is just some ledger paper that I had found. Oh, and this is This is actually a new piece I've incorporated because there's a scrap from a project I was doing the other day that was laying there and I thought it matched quite well. Anyhow, I should get the names and on this first parts of doing the Lapbook journaling, I should be listing them. So I'll see if I can remember to do that. So I have that part. I have the papers behind it, and I'm happy with the papers behind it, but I think it needs, without, again, doing too much bulk, it needs a little bit more texture behind it. I have this skinny piece of, I think it's all that I have left, actually, of my beat dyed cheesecloth, and I'm going to put that down in the corner. And then I have some of this lace that's been carried through the whole book, and I think I'll put maybe a piece of that right here. Again, bringing it in so that I still see this stitching. I like the stitching. I don't want to hide that. So I think I will put those down. Now, let's cut some of this off. And to put those down with, I'm going to use my Fabric Fusion. So I have stated the fact that I had run out of fabric tack. And if you'd seen the other videos, I didn't want to go an hour away to get it. I didn't want to wait for Amazon to get it mailed to me. So I went to Walmart and I bought this Fabric Fusion. I told you time would tell whether I liked it or not. So one of the differences I have found with it, that I'm not really minding actually, is that it's a lot thinner. So that means it's wetter. I don't know, that's probably not a good thing, but my hands don't really have the strength to squeeze that fabric tack bottle, and so I had to keep it on its side or upside down, and then I just waste so much glue from runoff from it that I was always frustrated because, and then when you did start to get it to come out, then it just wanted to keep coming. So I struggled with that. This I don't have that problem with. I can get a line of glue to come out and it stops coming out. And so anyhow, so in order to have a tuck spot, I don't want to glue this corner. It doesn't have to be like I could glue from here to here all the way around, which is probably what I'll do. So like from this post to just below my dad's elbow, I could glue. So I'm going to go ahead and use Fabric Fusion for that too. But anyhow, back to the differences in the glue. I really don't mind so far the Fabric Fusion. Like I say, it's easier for me to get out of the bottle. So I do like that. Probably so far, I've not had a problem with it not holding to the fabric, to the lace and the cheesecloth and whatever else I should put down. I guess my thing would be is that it doesn't grab as quickly as what fabric tack does. And that would be because it's more of a liquid glue. It's not as thick. I would imagine that's why. So it takes a minute, sometimes a little work with keep pushing it down to get it to adhere. Some cases that's a good thing because it gives you a little bit more playtime. In other cases, it's like, okay, stick already. I'm done waiting for you. I have things to accomplish, things to get done. You know how it is. We can be very impatient, right, girls and guys? We can be very impatient. So I have that down. And then I thought I would take a strip of this. This ribbon is just so elegant. And I think I'll put just, so it's a little bit shorter than the lace. And put that right here. Yeah, it's not even short enough to tell. Let's cut just a little bit more off. So I'll run a bead of glue right down along this edge. And adhere this really nice piece of ribbon to it. ribbon lace. I'm not sure whether it's which it should be categorized under, whether it should be considered ribbon or lace. I don't know. It's trim. Let's just call it trim. So I love my mom's old dress. It's just, this is pretty cool, right? There we go. And I think with my tag being tucked inside here like this, a little bit of this down here, maybe something on that corner, maybe not. I think this is great here. If I would put something down there, what should it be? Do you suppose that little piece of trim that I cut off would be enough? Or should I have something to be on the back of that? So maybe just a little piece of lace. And maybe this is too big. Let's cut that down. And just put a piece of lace within that little piece of trim. Oh, let's put our tag in up here and see what we think. I'm not really sold on, there's something amiss, something that's not bringing it all together for me. Let me see. I don't know, guys. I wasn't sold on that. So I think maybe if I do anything with this piece of lace and this trim, I'm going to put it on my tag. Yep, that's what I'm going to do. It's going to go on my tag. So this tag is just a tag I had, and then I took a piece of scrap ledger paper, folded over it, and put an eyelet in it. And these are some strings that I had, let's see if you can see that, that I had from when I frayed the cover to my lapbook and my journal, and I kept the strings. So that's what that's from. Let's put a little bit of glue here for the lace. And then put this little tiny piece of trim on top of that. So as far as any words on here, I'm going to write on my tag the I am, and the I am is that I am a daughter. And I think we're just going to leave that be as it is for now. So that starts my family page. From here, we will go to the next page, which is here. And we are going to start my family. I have brothers and a sister. So that will be tomorrow's or the next videos, whenever that should happen to be. That will be our project for then. So here we go. Thanks for joining me. You have a great day. Hope you enjoyed this video, and we shall see you again soon. Bye now. So I guess it wasn't done yet. I got to thinking that what I would like to add to this page is like maybe a title. So I went back to my computer and I printed out some labels, and the one that I want to have down here, of course, says Mom and Dad. And then for my tag, I decided not to use my handwriting, but rather to, again, go to the help of the computer. So I printed out several I ams and several other labels that I felt I might need for this book, which would be brother, sister, I am a daughter, I am an artist, things such as that. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to ink them up, and I'm going to glue them onto my tag. So I am, and the ink that I'm using is brushed corduroy. So I am here on this front, and then I will turn it over and I'll put a daughter. So let me ink up the a daughter. I'm going to have to split that up also, yes, because it's not going to fit. I wanted a font that would be big enough that it just wouldn't get lost, but small enough that would fit. And I guess I should have measured my tag, because what I printed out for a daughter has to be cut down, which is okay. I don't mind. I don't mind cutting it down. It's okay. So I'm just glad that I can cut it down and make it fit. So now I have my words, and I feel that putting mom and dad, let me just cut that down a little bit more. Not that I, of course, wouldn't know who that picture is of a right. I would know, but I just thought that it could use a little extra, and that's what I thought that I needed. So in that I put this here, I think I want to put just a little bit more behind it. So maybe another piece of paper. Yeah, how about some ledger paper? I'm not doing this all off screen. I'm paying attention to what I'm doing as far as working down here, but not paying attention to the camera up there. That's not a good thing, right? And let's just use some of our fabric fusion glue and glue this down. Oops, it came out too much, so I'll have to spread that around a little bit. And we'll put this here. Covers up Dad's cool shoes he has on. All right, and then our tag for mom and dad. I think I knew when I closed off with you the first time that it wasn't right. It wasn't done. And I don't want that square on, so I'm going to tip it a little bit. And then for our I am tag, let's put something underneath that also. I'm thinking some book paper, I guess. So do I want, like, I think I want to just put just enough behind the I, and then just enough behind the M. So maybe the best way to do that would be to glue it down and then try tearing it, I think. So I'm just going to use a little bit of glue stick for that. Put that right on there. I think that looks pretty cool behind there. I mean, I could go overboard with, I have to get this down here where it's going to have some around all the edges, with adding more and more and more behind all this. I think with trying to keep it less bulky, it means that it's going to be much simpler. I won't be able to get carried away with it, guys. I'll have to be careful. And the I am, I like that better. So let's just take a daughter and do the same thing with that. Let's glue it down. The letter A, and then daughter. So I guess it just wasn't enough for me to walk away from this and consider it done today. It wasn't done, and apparently I wasn't done, so. I think my next project, I have a pizza box that is overfull of scraps in lots of various sizes. I think I'm going to just sit down today with that box, and I am going to just take my scraps out and just play all day and see what all I can create. I'll work on some, I don't know, lots of embellishments for our journal. Just create. Maybe I'll do some paper clips, some snippets, some clusters, maybe some little tiny tags. Just going to play. I have been feeling the need more and more for just playing. And so today that's what I'm going to do. So there we have this, and I'm happier with those words like that. And I'm just going to glue these onto my tag. The glue I'm using is just a Yoo-hoo glue. Let's see. I am, and I did that upside down, but you know what? It's okay. The dictionary print is upside down. I am. Overlap that a little bit. Let's put this crooked. One's upside down and the other one we're going to put crooked. I kind of like that. And then on the back, I'll put a daughter. So that needs something more, and I think what it needs is a little bit of stamping, and I always add my script stamp, it seems like, to everything. So if I can find it, it appears to be missing at the moment. It's got to be in with my mess here somewhere. So I'll have to look that up rather than wasting your time. Okay, what was lost has now been found. We are going to just put a little bit here and there on that tag. Let's see, does the other side? Yeah, the other side could use some too. And that covers in some of that. I think the mom and dad tag could use a little. Yep. That was with brushed corduroy, and I don't know. There's nothing on this script that says where it came from or anything. So our tag is done. We have our little lace. We have the I am. It'll fit right down here. Look real pretty. We've got something over here in this corner that I thought it needed, and it did. It needed mom and dad. Now we are finished with this section right here. Thanks, guys, for watching. Have a great day. Bye now.